if there is anything that is extremely important to whoever is doing business, or for a simple human being like you and I, is the capacity to learn. Because every single day we have to deal with millions of information that come through us, and it is important for us to maximize the usage of our brain to process all of this information. And especially if you're somebody that is doing business, you need a lot of information, you need knowledge to be able to take your businesses to the next levels and continue to grow. So if this is something that you're interested in, that is to know how to maximize the usage of your brain, I invite you to stay tuned. Let's go. So welcome to you. I'm Boris, founder of Critical 2, and I'm passionate about business. I'm passionate about entrepreneurship. I love anything that is related to it, and that's what I'm trying to do in this video and on this channel. If you're watching on the channel and whatever the channel through which you're watching this video, just know that I'm interested in anything that is related to business. And you know what? Our brain, this little organ that is found right in this head, is one of the most powerful tools that exist in creation. And actually it is very important to know how to use it. So before we go into what I have for you today, I want to ask you one question. When you buy a phone, because right now maybe you're using the phone to watch this video, when you bought your phone, there's a notice that came with your phone. That notice tells you how to use your phone. It gives you all the information that you need to receive on your phone. Have you ever taken time to read that notice? Or did you do like more than 90% of people, just take that notice, look at it, oh, it looks nice, you throw it without ever reading it? I'm sure practically most of us have done all of this. I did that too, okay? So I'm quite honest with that. And I can ask you the same question with medicines. When you take a medicine, do you ever take time to read the notice? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Guess what? That is the same thing with your brain, because our brain has a notice. It has a way of functioning. But the notice to know how a brain actually functions is a 6,000 page book, and I don't think any of us has time to read a 6,000 page book. So in this video, I propose myself to tell you briefly and simply how your brain works and how you can use that to maximize your capability of learning and processing information. So let's start with a simple number. 100 billion. I hope you can see the board. 100 billion. 100 billion is the amount of neurons that are found in the brain of a newborn baby. Okay? And it should be noticed that most of this amount of neurons will be produced as you're growing and as you're getting to a much more mature stage. Now, there's something that happens within these beautiful neurons that we have in our brains, okay? Right here, I'm just trying to explain to you the thing as simple as it is. So, between your neurons, whenever you come to have a stimulus might just be a touch. A stimulus might you being eating, okay, and getting the taste through your buds. A stimulus might be you hearing something, or a stimulus can be a lot more things, okay? Even you just saying something, it is a stimulus. Now, when you have a stimulus, there is something that happens within your neurons. There's an electrical current, okay? There's an electrical connection that is created between your neurons. Now, this electrical connection or current represents the information, okay, represents exactly what is happening right now. So for example, if I'm eating, let's say I'm eating some tiep, okay. The tiep is a Senegalese food which is very delicious, by the way, okay. Let's say I'm eating chip, or I am eating arrow, or I am eating placali. No matter what it is, okay. Let's say I'm eating that dish. What's happening is that as I'm eating that, I am getting a taste. Okay, I'm getting a taste. I'm getting that salty taste. I'm getting that flavor that is right into it. You know, I can smell myself right in heaven, and I'm loving it. Okay, so what happens is that there's an electrical current that is created between my neurons, and that keeps the information. Now, when you are learning, there's something that is extremely important. Okay, something that is extremely important for you to maximize your capability of learning is to strengthen that bond, is to strengthen that electrical current. And for you to make that happen, there are two components that are extremely important. And I name it the first. The first are emotions. Okay? The first is, emotions. Emotion or emotions. The second is repetition. We have emotions and we have repetitions. Now I also want to ask you a question. Okay, you surely know about your birthday. If you're a woman that has already given birth, it means that I am almost sure, at least 100% sure, that you remember the date you gave birth, and you also remember all the details that surround that event. But I want to ask you another question. What did you eat as breakfast 2 days ago in the morning? Or what did you do at exactly 5 p.m. 2 days ago? If you can give me an answer, that would be great. But I'm almost sure that you can give me an answer. Why? Because there weren't any emotions into this. Let me explain why. Let me explain a little bit more what is happening right here. When you give birth, when a woman gives birth, okay, what happens is that there are a lot of emotions that are included in the process of giving birth. There's anxiety. She's angry, and that's why you see a lot of women screaming at their husbands, telling them, oh, you're the one who is responsible for this. This thing is hurtful. I can't take it anymore. You see, and she's angry. But once she goes through all that suffering and that she has her baby in her hands, guess what? She's happy. She's loving. She feels relieved. And that creates a huge amount of emotions that solidifies that electrical bond that is created within her neurons. Okay, so I want you to see it just like a thread. This dress is made up of a lot of threads. Okay, if I had to take one thread and I had to break it, I can do it easily. But when I put several threads together, it creates a cloth like this, which is much more difficult to destroy anymore. So I want you to understand that whenever emotions are included in your process of learning, your capability of keeping that information in your brain and processing it gets greater. Okay, so that's the first thing. For you to be able to upgrade your capability of learning, you have to make sure that you include emotions. And I will invite you to read about what we call the circle of emotions, because there are different kind of emotions. We have fear, we have sorrow, we have what do we have? Yes, we have fear, we have sorrow, we have anger, and those are the top emotions that have the much more impact. And it is used a lot in marketing to bring people to pay for things or to do certain things. I just take an example of the COVID. The reason why a lot of medias were showing people, a lot of people dying, is because they wanted to create that fear, okay, into millions of people for them to welcome the vaccine much more easily. Okay, so emotion is a huge component in the learning process. The second element that I want us to talk about today is repetition. I'm sure that when you were in high school, you were always told, oh, to read your notes frequently, again and again and again. And actually, these things work. Okay, it works, but it's just that we're just too lazy to read all of those things again and again and again and again. That's why you have tons of people that wait for like 1 day or 2 days to the exam to try and read a whole book. But the problem is that there are only two scenarios that can come out of this. The first scenario is that you're going to cram all of that in your head. You will enter into the examination site. You will sit down, a paper will be put in front of you, and you won't remember anything that you read, because the brain usually forgets all what it received within 48 hours maximum. Okay? And the second scenario is that you can come, you can enter, you can write your exam pretty well, you answer to all the questions, but once you step out of that hole, you completely forget anything you've written. That is also the reason. The reason is also because the brain did not take time to consolidate all that information, and it's going to let it go. Okay? So another thing that is important in order to upgrade your learning experience, to upgrade your capacity of using your brain in learning, is to make a lot of repetitions. Make a lot of repetitions. Some years back, we, especially in Africa, things like, for example, homosexuality was something that was completely unacceptable. Okay, it was extremely unacceptable. Nobody will let that go. But guess what? And I just want to remove what I was saying about Africa. I just want to focus much more on the Western world. Okay, we'll take in Europe, we'll take in the US. Okay, what happens is that some years back, homosexuality wasn't accepted, but because there has been a lot of repetition, a lot of people going on the TV telling that, oh, this is normal, this is normal, this is normal. Guess what? People told themselves, why can't we just tolerate? Okay, let's just tolerate a little bit. And when you start tolerating, it goes on and 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 on. And today, it has been legalized. That is the power of repetition. That is the same thing even with music. I'm sure that you all, and I have that personally, and that's why I at times I hate why the brain works like that, because you hear some stupid music, pardon me, but at times there's a lot of stupid music. You don't like that music, but because you hear that music everywhere, at some point in time you started humming it. You're like, and you sing it, and you love it. But that music, honestly, is nonsense. It's rubbish. It's shit. Okay? But this is the power of repetition. So if you want to upgrade your capability of learning, of using your brain, you have to put in a lot of repetition. Maybe on the next videos, I'll be going on memories, different kinds of memories, because these two components affect memories, and these two components help to make the connections between your neurons much more stronger. Thereby, that's what I have for you today. I hope you've been able to learn something that's quite important. And as entrepreneurs, it is extremely important that we get the usage of our brain in the right way possible. This is just a simplified explanation of all what is happening, okay? But I believe that this is enough, okay, to tell you how to go about this. Thank you for listening to this video so far. I'm really grateful. It takes me quite a lot of time to come up with something like that, so I hope it creates value for you and that you're able to use it in your daily lives and to make it really happen, okay? So I'm not going to ask you to subscribe to this channel or to click on the button or to even share this video, but if you want to do that, I'll be really grateful. It's going to help us with the YouTube algorithm. Also, I want to tell you that I have a free training program available for you if you're looking forward to know how to design precise and concise objectives, how to manage your finances, and how to manage your time. I have a whole complete training program for you with the documentation needed to make it highly practical. You don't have to pay any dime. The only thing you have to do is to reach out to the link and you have access to it. So I want to thank you, and I want to tell you that here we talk about business, we talk about entrepreneurship, we talk about the mindset too, the optimal mindset to move forward. Also, I want to promote investment, okay? Because guess what? We are not always supposed, okay, or always in the obligation of doing everything by ourselves. At times we just need to give a push to other entrepreneurs or business people doing a huge job, and I have a huge investment opportunity for you guys. But if you want to know about that, just let me know in the comment. Just write investment and I will make a video that will present to you what investment it is, and believe me, it's a big deal. So for the time being, I will say salut, take care of yourself, make a lot of money, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.